In today's Alpaka Metro Backpack Pro review, we're gonna show you everything that you need to know about this pack, pros, cons, what it can pack, so you can decide if it's the bag for you. And if it's not, you're gonna wanna stick around to the end of the review, where I'll make some alternative bag recommendations that might better suit your needs. Let's talk about the gist of the Alpaka Metro Backpack Pro. Alpaka is an Australian-based carry brand who's been taking over the carry community by storm over the past few years. They're known for making really good-looking, really functional, and fairly accessibly priced EDC and travel bags. And this one's gonna make some waves for a bunch of reasons I'm going to talk about throughout this review. But first, let's talk about some of the bag's key features. We've got a quick access horizontal compartment with a decent amount of organization, a semi-clamshell opening front compartment, super premium fabrics and materials, which will vary depending on which type of Metro Backpack Pro you get, a simple yet well-padded laptop and tech compartment, a hidden back wallet pocket, and a bunch more things that we're gonna sink our teeth into. The bag currently comes in 2 fabric options and 2 color options, X-Pack Black or X-Pack Green, or you can get Axoflux Black or Axoflux Green. And I'll talk about the pros and cons of each of those fabrics in the next part of this review. The size is 24 liters, which like in the past few years has kind of been like the ideal EDC size. Back in the day, it used to be 20 liters, but now as people are carrying more tech gear and kind of want a bag that can also double up as a travel bag, that's what 24 liters does best. The height of the bag is around 16 inches tall. The width is around 12 inches, and you get a fully packed out depth of around 6 inches. Alpaka claims this bag weighs 2.8 pounds, and our scale verifies 2.8 on the dot, but it should be noted that the Axoflux version weighs in slightly heavier, 3.3 pounds. This is the Alpaka Metro Backpack Pro when it's empty. This is the bag when it's fully packed out and worn on me. I'm 5'8", and also worn on our media manager, Margaret, who's 5'2". And don't worry, I'm gonna pack out the bag throughout the entire review so you can see exactly what it fits. Alpaka is kind enough to offer a lifetime warranty against manufacturing defects. And for all that, this bag retails at around $168 for the Axoflux version and around $229 for the X-Pack version. And if at any point in this review you're thinking to yourself, my God, it's time to go pro, takes dramatic tea sip, and you're gonna make a purchase, we do recommend that you check the first link in the description below. Reason being, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes, especially for Alpaka. But that link also helps to support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team, so we can keep making the best darn bag reviews on the web. Thank you very much. Okay, let's talk about the front of the Alpaka Metro Backpack Pro. First thing is first, we always start with the aesthetic, and this bag is fresh and clean. 2 reasons for that. One, there's not a lot of like zippers and hardware and stuff. It's just sort of like a panel with this one zipper right here. But the other thing is the primary fabric. Now, keep in mind, there's 2 primary fabric options. This one is X-Pack. X-Pack is the same fabric that sailboats use for their sail cloth to sail the seas with, which means that it's highly durable and highly weather resistant. So people have a tendency to be a bit more on the technical side, and who really need highly weather resistant fabrics on their bags have a tendency to love X-Pack. And the X-Pack is VX42, which is considered by the X-Pack's enthusiasts to be like the cream of the crop when it comes to X-Pack fabric. Axoflux, on the other hand, comes in at a cheaper price point, but it's not a bad fabric. In fact, it's a great fabric. It's a polyester, which makes it highly weather resistant in its own right, but it's not gonna be quite as weather resistant as X-Pack, and it is slightly heavier. One thing that I love that Alpaka is doing too, they're listening to the carry community. We don't love a bunch of huge, loud branding. And notice on the front of this bag, no logo, no branding, no walking billboard. The only logo on the exterior of this bag is on the shoulder strap. Oh, also, Alpaka has branding here as well, but still super discreet and subtle. Now let's talk about this side access pocket. First up, you can see that glossy zipper there. That's a YKK PU coated zipper. YKK makes the best zippers in the game, and PU coated zippers, although slightly stickier and a little bit more difficult to open and close, have a PU finish, which helps to protect your gear from the rain. Now you gotta love a compartment like this for this reason right here, quick access. Just swing the bag around, and you can see whatever you need is just sort of laid out in front of you. Super easy to access. And for me, like living in an urban environment where my backpack is sort of my life, right? Like it's like my car, right? Everything that I need is in here. I don't wanna have to take my bag on and off every time I wanna grab something, just a little swingaroo, grab what you need. Like that is convenience. Inside this front pocket, we've got some decent expansion. 1, 2 larger pockets, 1, 2 pen holders, and a key leash. Let's pack it out. You can see here I got some gear I might want some quicker access to. I got a B7 passport size notebook. Slide in there. Portable battery, wire. Throw my AirPods in the notebook. Pen 1, pen dos. Then we got the keyring solution, which I like because it's magnetic. Magnets and keys go together like tacos and tequila. It is a bit bulky, which I will say is kind of, frustrating. But the ability to swing the bag around, unzip, grab your keys, and if you just need a little extra space, just kind of take it off. Like the ease of use of all that is very, very undeniable and very impressive. But what's also impressive is how Alpaka has given this compartment a bit more capacity. It's not super, super, super tight, which means if you want to shove something in that compartment as well, that's a bit bigger, let's say a bulkier sweater from Unbound Merino, I think it'll fit. Oh yeah, with room to spare. Also could be a good spot for a book. Quite versatile. Now let's move on to the middle of the Alpaka Metro Backpack Pro. For the bottom, it is a little flat and square-ish, so it shouldn't have too much difficulty self-standing fairly kind of okayly. We'll test that out in a second. Now moving on to the sides of the backpack, notice super clean, fresh, flush panels, and neither of which have a water bottle holder, which I know is a deal breaker for many of you out there. Given the shape of this panel, I can see why it would have been very difficult for Alpaka to have included a water bottle holder. So if that doesn't bother you, you like it sleek, you want to feel streamlined, you don't want water bottle hanging out and catching on things, continue watching this review because everyone else has already left. But now let's talk access to the main compartment and water resistance and some thoughts that I have. Because Alpaka does something interesting with this bag. Notice how we have this hood right here, which covers the entirety of this main compartment zipper. I mean, it's straight up like gangster hood, like it looks mean. And from a weather resistance perspective, a hood like this is going to do more than any PU coated zipper ever could. Because even with PU coated zippers, there's still seams right here where there's stitching, where water can still seep its way into. But a hood like this, the water's just gonna go whoosh, just slide right off. Ain't getting in there, baby. But also a hood like this obviously has excess fabric, which makes opening and closing this main compartment a little cumbersome sometimes. Long story short, just you're gonna get snagged. See, I got snagged right there. And that's all a trade-off, dude. Like it depends on what's important to you. Some people are like, oh, I don't want the hood, I just want PU coated zippers. But PU coated zippers peel. Some people are like, oh, I don't want PU coated zippers, I just want, reverse coil YKK zippers with a DWR spray. But the DWR spray wears off after like 6 months. There's no perfect solution. Each option has its pros and its cons. How do you like to save your gear from the rain? Let me know in the comments below. Good thing about the zipper though is if you do get snagged, these are chunky YKK number 10s. They ain't gonna break on you. And then when you're inside, you can see we are oranging. This honeycomb alpaca orange lining is controversial. It has grown on me tremendously over the years. I like how the honeycomb pattern has sort of a shine to it. It makes it interesting without being like too neon. And if you get the Axoflux version, the interior is gray. On the front panel of the main compartment, we have a stretchy elasticy pocket, 1, 2 lining pockets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 3. That means 15 external lash points, and that is it. Let's pack it out. Over here, I got me a bunch of Pro EDC stuff for my Pro backpack. Let's see what it could fit. I will say, it feels closer to maybe 22 or 23 liters. Throw my pouches on the bottom. The top elastic pocket, I'm gonna throw my tech stuff. I got a adapter, magic mouse. Now for this mole system of the 15 lash points, this is ideal if you really like Alpaka's modular hub system, this guy right here, which I don't have any of the hub accessories with me right now, but even if you don't use that system and you like to clip things onto things, this sort of offers that potential. Me though, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm just a throw things in the main compartment kind of guy, so I'm gonna keep throwing. Lots of tech pouches, throw a sling in there. If you do want to carry a water bottle, you can do so in the main compartment. Theory, it could fit in here, but I'm not going to. Sweater, that's pretty good. I'll be honest, I think that these two pockets are kind of difficult to use. They're a little floppy, and when the bag is packed out in the bottom, and just the way that this thing opens, just not probably pockets that I personally would end up utilizing. Yeah, definitely not when this bag is packed out. Throw my reading glasses on top. That's a Pro pack out for a Pro backpack, but notice the snagging, right? Sometimes you gotta pay the price for that extra weather resistance, but you will certainly pay for it with this bag. But then again, once it's good to go, that rain's just gonna be flying right off. So I see the pros and the cons. And back to the self-standing. Not too shabby, not too terrible. It's sort of in the middle. Gets the job done. Last note in the middle, let's talk about the top handle. Decent webbing, not a lot of space going on here. There's enough to grab, but you might be wanting some more. It's not like a big old beefy one from Air. You really have a lot of room to kind of fondle with. And yeah, that's about it for the middle. But before we go into the back, if you're watching this and you're like, oh my God, that backpack's cool. Backpacks are cool. Am I a bag nerd? Well, don't you worry. If you are not alone. We got this thing out here, hombre, called the Carry Community. And it's me and the tens of thousands of subscribers on this channel, and so many more people around the world. Because bags are so cool and there's like a revolution happening right now. And here at Nomads Nation, we're like on the front lines of that revolution, not just on our YouTube channel, but also on the Nomads Nation newsletter, which we spend a lot of time writing every week. And if you want like a behind the scenes look at what's happening in this amazing world of carry, I'm talking new releases, limited edition drops, discount codes, all that good stuff, then you're gonna wanna sign up to the Nomads Nation newsletter. I'm like your reporter breaking the news from the field. And to sign up, just look for this globe emoji right here. I hope to see you in your inbox. Back to this guy. Let's talk about the back of the Alpaka Metro Backpack Pro. Starting with something that I adore, that I wish more backpacks implemented, this right here, the hidden back wallet pocket. Now, I've gone back and forth on whether or not I actually like to keep my wallet in such a pocket, because yeah, if I am separated from my bag, I'm kind of, I don't know, screwed. But I like to use it for keys. I like to use it for a passport when I'm traveling. Just like having something that you can swing around and grab easily that's also protected via your back, right? No one's getting in there. Who's getting in there? No one. And it should be noted there's only one pocket like this, and it's on the right-hand side of the bag when you're wearing the bag. Now, before we talk about the comfort, let's talk about the tech compartment. It's quite nice. It's accessible via two YKK PU-coated zippers, and it's pretty simple. You just have the laptop sleeve, tablet sleeve, and then a little bit of space down the middle. Doing a little laptop test, the 13-inch MacBook Pro fits very nicely. 12-inch iPad in the tablet compartment, also solid fit. 16-inch MacBook Pro 3D cutout. Oh yeah, we're in, baby. A little tight around the corners, but it'll definitely still close. 17-incher, I don't think it's happening. Whoa, maybe. You can see we're just probably gonna miss it, but that's for the Dell XPS 17 9700. But if you do have a 17-incher, just reach out to Alpaka, let them know, and they'll get you sorted. One last note in the laptop compartment, it is quite well padded. I love the microfiber material right here. Scratch resistant, just makes your laptop feel like it's on a beautiful cloudy throne. And while it's not the best false bottom I've ever tested, it comes down to about yay height, it's still a false bottom. And a false bottom is better than no false bottom. All right, this thing's packed out. We gotta talk about the comfort. Before we do though, luggage pass-through holder. Unfortunately for me is horizontal, or at least like you have to lay the bag horizontally. I always prefer if you can do it vertically. But one nice thing about horizontal integration is that it does give you easy access to this horizontal pocket right here. And the wallet pocket, especially if you got a passport in there, that works out pretty nicely. For the harness system, we've got two back panel molds, slightly raised for a little ventilation down the middle, both pretty well padded. I'm digging this back panel situation, digging it. I also like the fabric that Alpaka is utilizing on the back. It seems like it should have some decent ventilation to it, but it has like a silkiness to it that also gives a little bit of grip, kind of the best of all worlds there. But something I'm a little less enthused about personally are the shoulder straps. I like their width, I like their shape. The stitching looks nice. They're just thin, man. They're really thin for my taste. Now take that with a grain of salt. Everybody likes different things. I know plenty of people who would think like, dude, thin shoulder straps rock, right? Less oppressive, less just fabric and just above the ear mustard. Let me know if you know what movie that's quoting. But for me, like a pro backpack, I'm gonna be fitting a bunch of stuff. I just like chunkier shoulder straps personally. These are definitely on the thinner side. Like they're really thin, like Bellroy thin. Now, there's a decent amount of padding in there, and they don't feel bad, don't get me wrong. Just I know over time of wearing this for 20 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, right? You're walking around the city, that weight does end up taking its toll after some time, at least for me personally. But what about you? What do you like? Do you prefer the thinner ones, the chunkier ones? Let me know in the comments. Both shoulder straps have these external lash points right here, metal hardware on the buckles, and dangle stoppers at the bottom. Thank you for your service. And the sternum strap is quite interesting. I love that it's magnetic. Very satisfying, very easy to clip in and to clip out. But check this out. I thought that we actually had a defect. There was a problem with this, but it's actually the way that Alpaka has designed their new sternum strap, where it's just this thin little piece right there. You just unclip it to adjust it and to put it on a different part of the bag. And at first I was like, I do not know about the durability of that. But I'm tugging it pretty hard right now, and it seems like it'll work. Usually that part of the bag doesn't get a lot of stress. Like you're not always like, ugh, you're not trying to like break through your sternum strap. So if it does stand the test of time, which, you know, knowing Alpaka, I'm sure that it will, I quite like it because it's very discreet and it doesn't look too noisy, but time will tell. So overall for the comfort, I give it like it's a solid 8 for now, wearing it for 3 minutes in the studio. How it lasts longer term when I'm wearing it, I'm not quite as sure. I do wish it was thicker, but the back panel feels nice, decent ventilation. Sternum strap, always appreciated. And yeah, let's talk about the overall pros and the cons of the Alpaka Metro Backpack Pro. Pro number 1 is its awesome quick access. Pro number 2 is its impressive weather resistance, especially the X-Pack version. And pro number 3, not gonna lie, the bag's got a clean look to it. But I got some cons as well. Here they are. Con number 1 is the snagging in the main compartment for this weatherproof flap. Con number 2 is I could have used a little bit more padding on the shoulder straps. And con number 3 for many of y'all out there is gonna be the lack of any water bottle holder, either internal or external. And just a reminder, if you are thinking of making a purchase or just wanna find more information, the best prices and discount codes can be found with the first link in the description below. Thank you very much. But if you're not quite sold, I teased some alternative recommendations. We're gonna talk about them right now. Alternative recommendation number 1 is an easy one. It's the Evergoods CPL 24. This is a great option for you if you like that side opening of the Alpaka Metro Backpack Pro, but you just wanna see it done in a different way. The clamshell opening on this one's a little bit fuller. There's no flap getting in the way. It's not gonna be as weather resistant. Pros and cons to either bag, but it's one of the most this bag's got a cult-like following and there's a reason for it. And my second alternative recommendation is this guy, which is the Air City Pack Pro. This one's made out of Ultra, and it's a great option for you if you're looking for a 24-liter bag that has a bit extra capacity, but is much more weather resistant without having a flappy thing. Looks a bit sleeker too. It's got a bit more organization, a lot more padding on the shoulder straps. And to learn more about either of these bags, just watch these videos right here. If you got any questions about any bags, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron. This is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.